in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. Plan always, because fail to plan is plan to fail. Failure is not our portion. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Katran Ayuk, for your second presentation, how to write CWA minutes and reports.
Once more, I am back. And this time around is on how to write minutes and reports. We heard in our former presentation that secretaries are so important. And one thing I forgot was that the president and her vice must ensure that the secretaries take down minutes. How are these minutes taken? What are minutes? What are the tips of writing good minutes? Then how are reports written? When and where are reports presented? What is the rationale between minutes and reports? And what is the difference between the two? Welcome once more. What are meeting reports? Meeting reports are official records. Official records or recordings during a discussion within a meeting. And these official records are very permanent. It is also, these reports also are kept for future references, and they are source of information about the branch or the zone. Again, remember, we are working in the context of branches and zone because we are in USA and Europe. What must be included in the meeting? Those present who couldn't attend, and those who couldn't attend. In a meeting, we have those who were there, those who were not there. So the reports will carry, the minutes, we begin first with minutes. We'll carry those who were present and those who were not present. We have an agenda. We had it in the planning. We have an agenda. An agenda is a list of items of the things that are going to be treated or done, or issues that will be done during a particular meeting. A summary of discussion for each agenda item and summary of all decisions taken at any meeting. Is there any importance of writing minutes? Dear ladies, do we need to write minutes in a meeting? Yes. Why must we write these minutes? We must write these minutes because our memories sometimes can fail us. Charged with the many responsibilities that we have at home, at offices, in our workplaces, in our business places, we can easily forget. But the minutes, well read, will refresh our memories. So minutes are very important because our minds can fail us. They are a tool of communication. They help us to communicate to us, especially those who were absent, the things that were discussed. They are the outcomes of those, they help those who couldn't be there. Minutes are a good reference for all those who were in the meeting. And since they are a good reference to all those who were in the meeting, it will refresh their memories. Then it will keep those who were absent and they are present in the next meeting the opportunity to leave the meeting that they were absent. What is involved in minutes writing? What are the steps of minutes writing? One, we just list them very quick. One is pre-planning. Remember, in conducting an effective meeting, we talk about pre-planning. Pre-planning, record taking at meetings, minutes writing or transcribing, sharing of the minutes, of the meeting minutes, and filing or storage of minutes. We shall know the difference between filing and storage in due course, in a very short moment. When we say pre-planning for minutes, what do we mean? A well-planned meeting, as we said a minute ago, is leading to effectiveness and efficiency. And when we have effectiveness and efficiency, and the item is well followed, we shall have effective and good minutes. Minutes taking is easier if the president and her secretaries make the agenda of their day. So, dear Madam Presidents, don't go and sit in your hands and make a rough agenda. You must work with your ESCO, or at least for agenda with the secretaries. What is the use of this agenda? The use of the agenda, the importance of this agenda is that it would guide us so that we don't make forward and backward movements. We follow an agenda chronologically, sequentially, so that we don't put a child will not walk before the child crawls, right? So too, we cannot take decisions if the matters do not come up. Record taking. That was the second step of minutes writing. What do we mean by record taking? Record taking, the following will help us are needed: date, time, and place, venue of the meeting. This week, Queen, of cause of our joy, we are going to hold a meeting. Please, next week we shall not be here. We shall not come to the parish. We are going to hold a meeting in our sister's house who was bereaved. There we hold a meeting. Therefore, we place the date, the place, and the time. Then, what again is needed in record taking? Roll call and excuses. We must always have that, because nobody can attend 100% attendance. Acceptance or corrections or amendments. Is the agenda accepted? Is it amended? And what if it is amended, or if the previous minutes were read or have been read? What do? We must move them correct, or we amend them where necessary. Decisions made. The decisions made will also be decisions made on each item. We have an agenda. Let's take, for example, cookery lesson. Was the cookery lesson done? What aspect of the cookery lesson was done? What was the effect of that? Any meeting that does not affect the meeting and the members and bring a change in their life, therefore that activity was not done, or it was poorly done. Then, in the absence of the secretary, who takes the minute? The vice secretary. And if the vice secretary too is not there, who takes the minute? The presidents, Mami presidents, you appoint somebody during that meeting to take minutes. At branch level, everybody is supposed to jot down. In our CWA bag, where we have all the documents of CWA, one of them is our exercise book and a pen. So you take your pen, you take your exercise book as a member, you write your important things. Now, tips to help us in notes taking. So we take notes well. What do? Create an outline based on the agenda. I have an agenda. Opening prayer, doctoral formation, singing of anthem. When we take this, you don't, if you respect it, you take each item, prayer, who led the prayer, a summary of the prayer, the main aspect of the prayer, doctrinal formation, what lesson was taught in that doctrinal formation, and the effects of that. So you write your minutes following the agenda, respecting the agenda, so that you leave nothing out. Send round the attendance list. When you send out the attendance list, that is when you are writing your minutes. You will know those who were present and those who were absent. Ask for clarification if necessary. Especially sometimes a point will come up that there will be many arguments, that there will be so many ideas, contributions. You are not going to write, Mami Judith said, then Mami Aurelie said, then Mami Rosa Safo said, then this one said. No, you listen attentively. The secretaries, you are the aided memoir of any group. You listen attentively, you take the major arguments, the major discussions, and you give a summary. What was it? What was the result? What did they resolve to do? What decision was taken? That is what is important, not what each person said. So don't write their minutes word verbatim. Do not try, okay, that's what we said, do not try to capture everything, but take the clear thing. And when you are writing, write in simple English language, write in the simple past tense, then write the decisions taken, write the assignments, who was given what assignment to do. Then, as you are writing the simple past tense, why in the past tense? Because the minutes will not be read that day of that meeting. The minutes will be read the next meeting. So therefore, when you are presenting what has just recently passed, you present in the recent past, simple past. Now, minutes writing proper. After meeting, pull together, because you don't have the book itself. We have a ledger at the level of the branch. What do? You just take your jotter, that exercise book, you are jotting everything according to item by item. Write minutes. Don't carry the book and go and keep. I went this way. Then on the Wednesday that you have your meeting, at 3 o'clock, meeting is at 4 o'clock. That's why you are taking your book to write your minutes. No secretaries. This is addressed particularly to presidents and secretaries. Call your secretary at least 5 days if it's branch meeting that is weekly, or if it's zonal meeting that is once in every 4 months, 3 times a year. What do? 1 month, 1 week after, 2 weeks after. Have you written the minutes? Just a reminder. Send a message. Review your outline and make sure that all decisions and actions taken are clearly noted. Where there is extensive deliberation, as we said, I've heard, passing a motion, summarize the major documents. Then edit your report. When you write your minutes, read and reread. Edit it yourself. Don't go and read. There's a mixture. People do not understand what you wrote. Then, after you've written it, you make sure your president's proofreads, your president signs. That's when they become official. And you too, you sign. Then after that, we can share. We share the minutes. When we share the minutes, at branch level, we have our register. But at zonal level, we have to share. We send the minutes even before time to the various branch presidents for discussion. While in the meeting, while in our branches, we have our ledgers. Do you have our ledgers over there in America and in Europe? Make sure your branches have leaders. And this meeting issue is very important, especially in the US and in Europe, where meetings are held only twice a month, once fortnight. Make sure you have your physical meetings. COVID is over. Have physical meetings because they have positive effects. Then we cannot minimize the issue of minutes. So minutes are very important because they give us the essential of each meeting. And if they give us the essential of each discussion, it helps us keep active in our minds what is going on in our meetings. Do we have only minutes in meetings? We also have reports. What are reports? Are reports different from minutes? Yes. While minutes are weekly, full discussion of a meeting, reports are we give a verbal report or a written report on activities that have been done during a period of time. For example, it can be, we are now, say, for example, in the zonal meeting, or there in the US, people always have come together. And the last time you heard that come together was in 2020. You did not hold in 2021. When you're holding now, so your reports will commence from a month in 2020 to the month that you hold in 2022 or 2023. Then in CWA, our reports, we report what the group has done. What do we report in CWA? We don't report the intended. We report what has actually been done. And who are those who did it? How many members were involved? All those should be noted. Then, what do we need to do? We need a pen, we need papers, we need exercise book, we need a diary. While at branch level, we need for minutes, we need jotters. In zonal meeting, division and the rest, we need a diary. Then, we also need records, we need calendars, we need pictures of activities. But when you are going to write your report, we shall show that example very soon, you are going to pictorize, give a pictorial show of the activities done. Who writes a report in a group? The secretaries. This is a small similarity between reports and minutes, because both are written by secretaries, but there's a difference. At the level of reports, the secretary or any delegated member writes a report chronologically. If our reports, for example, in a zonal meeting after 3 months, we said report covering the period from March 2022 to the next 3 months, to June or July 2022. That is the period. So what has been done during this period? In this report, when we write them, at a zonal level, branches will write reports to zones. And when branches are writing these reports to zone, covering this period, they will give the activities that were carried out. What did they do? As the secretary writes them, the secretary does not write them and publish them without the president knowing. First of all, without the members of the group knowing. When you have written a report, you bring the report to your group, to your branch, and all the branch, that's in relation to zone, as we are stating. The branch members will all listen to it. Since they also have their own exercise book, they will either amend or they will approve, or if there are some activities that you've left, they will remind you that from my book, this day we went to hospital or to the prisons, and when we went there, this is what we do, and this was the effect. So the members have the role that they to listen and correct by adding or subtracting points in their report. Then the next person involved in the report is the president. The president reads and finally signs before any public presentation. Do not present any report to the higher level, like to the zone, when your branch president, when your members have not listened to it and done the correction, and when the president has not signed. How is a report written in CWA? We have a format. Because of time, I will refer you to page 13 of the general work plan. There is a format, name of branch, and our branches and zones should have Christian names according to Marian names. Name of branch, number of members, right, go there, you will find it all. Then, what must we do? When we see the format, we can quickly read the format. We can quickly show you the format so that for those who have not yet seen this beautiful program for this 2022 to 2024, it can help you as it's helping us to when you do a good work. For example, at branch level, name of branch, name of zone, number of members, average attendance at weekly meetings, better was stagnant, number of new members, reports covering the period from, just as we said, from January 2022 to March or April 2022. One aspect, doctrinal formation and spiritual growth, etc. You find them all on page 10, 11, 12 to 13. Those pages 10, 11, 12, and 13, you have the full format on how to write report. While in minutes, we don't have this format. Then the next thing, what is the heading of the report? Correct information should be filed with, should be filled with correct dates and number of members. Content of report. The content of report shall follow the headings as I just started reading. Respect what the general body has put together in our general work plan from pages 10 to page 11. Pages 10, 11, 12, and 13. Excuse me. Then, when you write, the headings should be clearly written and underlined. If you do not want to underline them, then you highlight them. What do we mean by highlighting them? You can make in capital letters, or you put that subheading in black, in bold writing. That is what we mean by highlighting. In our case here in the US and America, as I've said earlier, reports writing will be today from branches to the zone, because that is our highest level in America and UK and Europe. Then finances. How much dues were collected? How many members pay? The dues should correspond to the number of members. Don't throw dues And when they ask you how many members are in your branch, you don't know. And yet you've paid dues. This due corresponds to how many members. Number of documents. The national body sends you documents. How many documents were given? How many have been paid for? Have you sent all the money? Their report must be duly signed by President and Secretary. Report booklet. Your report booklet is not like minutes that we have a ledger. You have a booklet. Don't look at it. Just look at it, but don't think that you give us the leadership manual. You have here reports covering the periods. Pam pam pam. You have here in the middle. What will you have? You will have your Marian, a picture that depicts your Marian name, the name of your group. For example, say your group is Regina Chellis or Cause of Our Joy. You go to the internet. This thing is common to you people there. We are the ones who are still struggling with it. And click Cause of Our Joy. You will see all the pictures of Our Lady on Cause of Our Joy. Don't put a picture of Our Lady here that does not reflect the name of your branch. So, but the picture should be bright, must represent the Marian title of your branch or your zone, and should carry the CWA logo. I hope we all know what CWA logo is. That is her. Please, ladies, dear women, make sure you follow this, you respect it, then we shall receive better reports from the US and the Europe. Now, from the aforementioned discussion, do you find any similarities between reports and minutes? Do you see differences, the differences between minutes and reports? Yes, we have both. The similarity for the reports, minutes and report, is that they are all written by the secretaries. And the other similarity is that they are both signed by the president. There are a lot of differences. What are some of the differences? Dear women, dear daughters of Mary, for example, the minutes are full details or good summary of a daily or weekly meeting, while reports cover a period of time. And because they cover a period of time, you have to bring the activities that were actually done. Do not think of a project or of an activity and write it down, what we intend to do. We want what has been done. Then reports must carry the effect of that activity done on its members, on the association, on the society, and on the society, if possible. But they do. Because if, for example, we went to the prison and there, through our doctoral teaching, studying the Bible with some particular prisoners for about 6 months, fortunately the person was released, and you follow up the person and you see that that person is completely converted. Is that not a good effect? It's a good impact. The person has converted and you have brought somebody back to Christ. Then minutes, reports have formats. While minutes will follow the agenda, only the agenda to write item by item to give the summaries. In reports, we follow their format, and the format must be respected. Dear ladies, it was a pleasure talking to you, and it's my pleasure that you listened to us. We thank you, and we hope you put all of this into practice so that we will have better minutes and better reports to make our association grow and to make us be lively, be participatory, and be effective for ourselves, for the association, for the church, and for the environment. Thank you very much.